Super Mario Galaxy is probably my favorite game of all time. From its almost perfect game design to fantastic soundtrack and overall peak vibes, it's got everything I've ever wanted from a game. But there's one issue. I've played it dozens of times at this point to completion. Thankfully, RetroAchievements just added Wii support to their site, meaning I can experience Galaxy in an all-new lens. And fun fact, I actually helped in the development process of this set, alongside the dev Suspect and the mythical one who actually made the set. I just play tested and suggested a few achievements, which I'll be sure to note. This is the largest set I've ever mastered with 160 achievements, where I'm gonna need to complete this game with all 242 stars, do 22 speedrunning challenges, do a whole bunch of random miscellaneous tasks like beating Dreadnought's 100 coins with 0 coins, or Luigi's purple coins with all 150 coins, all the way to getting 9,999 star bits. So this thing is gonna take us on an adventure. By the way, I'm Pajamajohn, and I love retro games and achievement hunting. So if you wanna follow my quest to revisit and master my favorite games from my childhood, drop a like and subscription so you don't miss any weekly uploads. And if you can see it, dump all your hype as well. Okay, let's do this. Super Mario Galaxy for the Wii. Starting off this adventure, we get a letter from the princess saying to come over to the castle during the Star Festival. So, of course, we do that. But problem. Bowser had to go ahead and ruin everything by summoning a UFO, which carves the princess's castle out of the ground. And now we're in space. I don't really know how we got here. Now, if I was a good player, there would be an achievement for me to grab here. I need to catch all 3 star bunnies on this tutorial planet in under a minute. I did not. Where's the crater? This is it. Here's the crater, right? That's the wrong crater. Oh, we failed. We failed the achievement, guys. It was the wrong crater. Well, looks like we'll have to come back later. Well, now we get to meet Space Mom, Rosalina, a mysterious princess-like character who seems to want to help us by bestowing us with the gift of Luma. Now we can spin, which also happens to be our first achievement. Going through the Gateway Galaxy, I saved a couple of Lumas from being trapped and went inside the core of this here planet. I would have another achievement to grab here, once again, if I was good at the game. If I were to complete this flip switch puzzle without flipping any of the panels back to blue after I made them yellow, we would have gotten a Chivo. But we gotta press all of it on the machine. Huh? Are we for real? I did not even go. Oh my god, we already missed another missable. Oh, at least I got one for grabbing this Grand Star. This Grand Star led us over to the Comet Observatory, our hub world for this game. Mysterious Rosalina tells us a little story about space, but we're here for achievement action, so let's go into our first dome of the game, the terrace. Right into Good Egg Galaxy, I started collecting a ton of star bits since we're gonna need to get over 9,000 of them later in the set. Speaking of the number 9,000, if we get over 9,000 likes on this video, I will do the coin collector subset for this game, which I hear is very, very hard. And for getting 50 star bits, we're awarded with another achievement. And continuing my trek through the level, I took out a Trax, which gave me a ton of star bits as well as an achievement. But that's not all, because now we need to fight Dino Piranha, and of course, there's a little challenge for us to do here as well. We need to beat this boss in just 4 spins, which isn't so hard if you plan for it. The first spin we need to use gets taken up when we break Dino Piranha's egg to crack the shell, and we basically need to not waste any spins during the rest of the fight. 3 hits, being careful to be within the hitbox, and we are totally fine. The next stage, a snack of cosmic proportions, we need to collect a ton of star bits to feed this hungry Luma, who sacrifices themselves, turning into a whole entire planet. Going through to the end though, there's another challenge to grab. Well, challenge is a bit of a lie, it's actually very easy. If we long jump over to the star and don't get the blue star chips at the end here, we get another achievement. While flying to the next star here in Good Egg, I managed to collect 10 star bits on the fly-in, which also gave me an achievement. Now, I'm gonna just say this right now. This set is going to be super front-loaded because we get another Chivo for getting this star power-up, and we also have something interesting to do during the King Caliente fight. There's an achievement for us to unlock here called Calamari Coins, and to get it, we need to collect 15 coins during the battle. To do so, we need to activate the fight cutscene, then immediately go to the bottom to grab these 2 coin nubs. Then go around the circumference of this planet to grab a few more there as well. Now we need to go through the fight as usual until the last hit, where we need to hit these little burrs with star bits for the rest. Yep, that's what they're called, by the way. What of it? The issue though is that sometimes burrs just like don't spit out a coin, and I ended up losing a few, so I ended the fight, grabbed the star, and went in for another go. And coin. If you don't have a coin, I'm ending the stream. All right. I guess I'll see you guys next time. This time I was actually able to rack up 15 though, and we're done with Good Egg, for now at least. Hive Galaxy is our next stop. Do you guys know there's an M over here? And pretty much immediately, we get a Chivo for getting the bee suit. Did you know that in Mario Galaxy, you can collect the bee suit and become... Anyway, the bee suit lets us fly, and fly we do, to this beautiful queen bee. By grabbing all of the star chips from around her, we fly over and... My eyes! They burn! Say hi to Captain Toad. He gives us a star, and once we go back to the observatory, he and his crew follow us over, which also gets us another achievement. They don't have anything interesting for us right now, so I ignored them and went back into Honey Hive for our next star, where we're going to have to fight the hardest boss in the game, but we'll get to that later. For now though, this is the first time I've come across a life shroom, and guess what happens for that? Okay, it's time to take on that impossible boss. This is the Mandibug stack. It's dead now. Our final star in Honey Hive for now is the fight against Big Bad Bugaboom, and he's got a pretty fun challenge for us. We need to defeat him without losing our bee suit, which basically means no getting hit or touching water. I just used this plant to get some air and ground pounded him until he became red and mad. Then I hit him one last time to pop that Chivo. Those are the two main galaxies here in the terrace, but we do have a couple of one-offs to go check out. Funnily enough though, once we get back to the observatory, the Toad Brigade seems to have fixed their starship, so we get an achievement for that there too. So the first of these one-offs is the Flip Switch Galaxy. Here, I'm gonna need to flip all of the blue panels to yellow without jumping. The strategy to get this done is pretty simple. We essentially need to go back and forth between panels a few times so that we can forge our way forward without leaving any panels blue. You know, since we have to walk back and we can't jump. Anyway, we're forced to take some damage here as we need to get past this spring robot since he shoots out a ring of electricity. From there, we just need to be careful once they all turn green and we get the achievement. Once that star's collected, I can get into Loop-de-Swoop, which is a childhood enemy of mine. I hated this place, it was the worst. But as an adult, it's still pretty bad, to be honest. Here I have a challenge where I need to beat the race in under a minute, but unfortunately, I took a bit longer than that. Oh my god, guys, 116 hours and 5 minutes and 38 seconds for Surfing 101 speedrun. High five. After being taught how to ride a manta ray, as if I hadn't done this 10,000 times already, I lined up at the starting line and went crazy. I tried my best to keep tight lines around turns, and I found that resisting the urge to hop at these giant ramps seemed to be faster. And with those things in mind, I barely made it in under a minute. My time was 59 seconds and 15 milliseconds to be exact. The last thing in this dome to do for now is take on Bowser Jr.'s robot reactor to fight Mega Leg. My goal to beat this fight was under a minute as well. This meant taking the quickest route up Mega Leg, hitting his cage with a bullet bill, then trying to do a backflip over this fence to get that second hit in. Which, I just want to say this right now, every single time I've played this boss since I was maybe 10, I've done this boss like this. But, for some reason, I'm having an issue with it now. This time it took me 5 bullet bills before I gave up and just did it the old-fashioned way. At least I got it done in the end. A bit embarrassing though. And with a grab of our second grand star, we unlock a progression achievement as well. We're moving pretty fast at this point. We're kind of goated. Now that the grand star has fused with the core of the observatory, more power has been restored and we get access to our next dome, the fountain. But first, there's a hungry Luma, who in exchange for 400 star bits will give me access to one of my favorite galaxies, Sweet Sweet Galaxy. I know this is a controversial take, but I do like a super linear platforming challenge every once in a while. And this is one of the few galaxies in the game that is just that. I say that take is controversial because I like these levels so much that I would like a game that's just full of them. That's it, just platforming challenges. Thanks, Nintendo. I know you're watching. Just get that going for me, okay? Thank you. Anyway, we got another challenge here that's pretty fun. We gotta get through this rotating section here without hitting the jump button on our Wii remote at all. If we take things slow and make sure to zigzag all around the cutout ground bits, we're good. And sadly, we will never ever have to come back here again. Or will we? Okay, now we can make our way into the fountain and check out Space Junk Galaxy. In my opinion, one of the most iconic galaxies in the game. It's the first stage that really gives off that deep space vibe, and I like it. It's pretty awesome. Pull Star Path is the first star, and we, well, get used to the pull stars a lot. Did you know? This is the Pikmin rocket ship from the Pikmin video game. One of my favorite parts of the game is right here where we need to run across platforms that zip into place as we move through the stage, collecting 5 silver stars. And for collecting all 5 of those silver stars in under 35 seconds, we get a speedrunning achievement. Ever since I was a kid, I always loved airship stages in Mario. I remember playing Mario Bros. 3 over and over again, actually looking forward to the castle stage. Maybe I'm a sick individual. Well, my point in saying that is, judging by the B-roll on your screen right now, this next star is an airship level. That's what we call breaking the 4th wall. Aside from the fact that I like this level, there are 2 achievements here. Firstly, for finding Camilla's secret starbit stash by falling down into here, and the second is pretty hard actually. It's sort of similar to what we did with Dino Piranha earlier, with trying to beat that fight in only 4 spins, except this time we're limited to how many shells we can throw. Our goal here is beating Camilla without throwing more than 2 shells. You may be thinking, John, you need to hit Camilla 4 times to destroy her. How is this even possible? Well, my humble servant viewer, you see on hits number 2 and 4, you can pick up a shell and just jump into her. This does not count as throwing. When I said it was hard a minute ago, I meant it wasn't hard. I was missing a word in the script. Going back to the observatory, I surprisingly found myself at the center here with Rosalina. She told me a prankster comet had shown up at Good Egg, so I took myself over there to take it on. This one is a Speedy comet, meaning it's a speed run. And guess what? We have a Chivo for doing this in under 2 minutes. This is just the Dino Piranha level again with a reddish gradient overlay. Also, the Peanut Planet has chomps now instead of boulders. By playing generally quick, I made it to the boss fight with 2:35 on the clock, so we were kinda short on time. But this is the first boss in the game, so I just ran around his tail 4 times and finished this level with 2:21 on the clock for that achievement, well as another for beating our first Speedy Comet. Back in Space Junk, we've got to do another Speedy Comet. This time we need to do Pool Star Path in under 2 minutes and 20 seconds, meaning the clock's got to be at 140 or higher at the end. This stage is a little bit more involved than Dino Piranha, but still, the timer here was pretty lenient. Beat this one with 147 on the clock. I'll be fair, this timer was a bit closer than the last. But we still aren't done with comets somehow. Back in the terrace again, we have a new type of comet. Wait, hold on. This is a weird one. I think that this isn't a comet, and it's actually a list of all of my channel members, who for being members get extra videos and streams. Whoa, that's so weird. But okay, fine. There is also a cosmic comet, where we need to race a cosmic Mario clone to the end of the stage. But there is a special little trick we need to do in this one. After starting the race, we need to head over to this fence here, then hop off and try to get to the end by skipping most of the stage. So okay, we have an achievement to grab here. Watch this. Oh, I'm actually insane. I did first try. Somebody get me a medal. I got really lucky and got it on my first try for that Chivo. And also the achievement for beating my first cosmic comet. I do want to note though, there's a secondary challenge we need to look out for when doing these cosmic races. For getting a speedy head start, we should be able to get another achievement for that later down the line, but we'll have more chances at that. Finally, after that long detour, we can go and do the next real star in Space Junk. And by real star, I mean bonus secret star for feeding a hungry Luma. You've probably noticed by now, but a lot of stages have an achievement linked to them. That's sort of why RetroAchievements is amazing. Like I said, I've beaten this game like 20 times at this point, and I know the ins and outs, but playing it with little challenges I need to look out for adds a little extra oomph that the game might need for me at this point. So after feeding the Luma, Yoshi appears in the sky and we get to take out a bunch of Goombas on his face. If I heard 8 or more Goombas around me, then combo stomp all of their heads without hitting the ground, we get a Chivo. And for destroying the rest, we get our star. Back in again, we need to fight Tantox. Getting over, I murdered this toad on a spider web and made it over the Tantox fight. To defeat it, you need to hit its butt, then its underbelly orbs after. And of course, there's an achievement linked to this. You need to beat the boss by only flinging Mario 7 times. But 1 fling for the butt, 3 more on the bottom, then times that by 2 for the second phase. How could this be possible? Well, there's a toad that can help us out. We can use him as ammunition. On Fort, I missed him on the first time around and had to restart the fight. Second time though, we did it just fine. But since this was also the last star here other than the purple coin star, we got a Chivo for that as well. When making this set, the devs decided to make the quote-unquote completion criteria for each stage not include the purple coin stars. And that's kind of because if we waited until later in the set to do it, we'd just get a ton of achievements in a row. The set has just better flow that way. Now that we're done here though, we can go into Battle Rock, which also has that deep space vibe that I really like. On the lead up to me screwing in this screw to start this moving platform, I made sure not to collect any of the star bits off in the distance. And that's because I have a challenge where I need to use my pointer to get 60 plus during this ride here. By delaying the grab of these wall bits, getting as many as I can from this huge coin, and keeping an eye out for any falling star bits, I was able to get this done. I'd led some bills over to the glass dome with the star, and was right back in again to break into Battle Rock. I needed as many star bits as I could get so I could feed a hungry Luma. So when I got to this blob-like planet, I picked up the invincibility star and destroyed a whole bunch of chomps. And To my surprise, beating all of them before letting the star run out got me a pretty sweet achievement. I fed this Luma and, oh no, my nightmare. As a kid, I was never able to do these trash clearing stages with the gizmo guys. I may have just had terrible hand-eye coordination, bad brain development, had no control over my motor skills, didn't know how to play video games, or really do anything at all, but I learned a long time ago that these coins in the ground are indicators as to where you should throw your bombs. And as a much smarter adult, I got this star almost instantly. Back into breaking into Battle Rock, once we get to this cannon shooting section, if we time our shot just right, we can break through both layers of this space shard and free this Luma in one hit. After that, I just needed to explode this glass and shoot myself to the star. The last full level of Battle Rock is the Top Man Tribe star. I decided that I wanted to style on the game and do this triple jump to skip some of the stage, and eventually I got over to Top Man. I gotta do a speedrun Chivo for beating him in under 12 seconds, which sounds scary, and it is, for someone who hasn't played this game 1 billion times. The strategy to beat Top Man fast is to instantly hop on his head and be ready to spin into him. And once he gets damaged, pre-jump over Top Man so that you can instantly hop on his button when he lands. If you're prepared, this one shouldn't be too hard. By the way, remember when I said that was the last full level of Battle Rock? Well, that's true, but now we got a prankster comet. This time a daredevil, which is essentially a game-sanctioned damageless boss run. Just use the same exact strategy as we did with Top Man just now, and it's a pretty free star. Since that is our first Daredevil star, I won't even say it, you already know. There's nothing left for us in Battle Rock at the moment, so instead we can check out the one-offs in the fountain here, starting with Rolling Green Galaxy, which has 2 achievements. The first is pretty easy, we just need to pick up 125 star bits on our way to the goal. The reason I say this is pretty easy is because there are these huge coins that create paths of star bits, and we also have more falling from the sky. The hardest part is definitely here at the end where we need to go around this little hill. If you're not careful, you could fall off. I grabbed 125 and a couple extra for the road and beat this star. Added achievements to Super Mario Galaxy. I actually can't believe it. Wake me up when it's time to do the whole game again as a better character. Can't wait. Now the second achievement is for getting from this first launch pad to the last launch pad in under 40 seconds. So I went back and did some attempts. On my first go, I had a few hiccups, but I managed to pick up some time by trying not to hit every Goomba on the way to the end. With that in mind, I finished the race in 39 seconds. But the achievement didn't pop. I thought maybe something bugged and my time was too close, so I went in for another attempt where I optimized my route. I had a clean fall into the hole at the start and was way faster at the end. But even at 35 seconds, the achievement didn't unlock. So I figured it was bugged and we'd come back later. Hurry Scurry Galaxy is another classic, and it has a no jump challenge attached to it. As long as you are at least a little intentional about your movement, this shouldn't be a hard one. I mean, to be fair, you don't need to use very many panels to begin with. Just sort of, I don't know, made this star really quick for some reason. Time for the boss stage, Bowser's Star Reactor. This is another level that puts emphasis mostly on platforming, so you know I like it. I'm a gravity wall fanatic and like when gravity switches. It's a cool mechanic. And I like that they're using it. It's too bad that this stage is so short though. Anyway, our challenge here has to do with Bowser. The goal is to beat him without letting him recover from his tail being on fire, or from spinning. The boss itself is pretty simple. What we need to do is wait for Bowser to crash out and do his thing, then when he goes in for a Mega Stomp, make sure we're on top of one of these blue panels. He'll hit it hard and his butt will get burned by the lava underneath. Here is where the achievement starts to come in. We need to hit him within a few seconds so that he doesn't recover, then after we hit him, he goes into shell mode and we need to intercept him as he spins around. So once again, he doesn't recover. That challenge wasn't too bad, and we've also gotten the next mega, huge, beautiful Grand Star. With even more power being restored to the Comet Observatory, we can move on to the kitchen, but first we have a Luma to go talk to. For a few star bits, this Luma unlocks Sling Pod Galaxy, and as a kid, this was the hardest star in the game. Bar none. You gotta use a lot of motion controls to get through this one. I used to struggle a lot with the web sling pod parts where, you know, you need to be super precise. It is really, really easy to overshoot something. Like, really easy. Even until this day, it's a tough one. But not only is this star hard, but we also need to speedrun it. We gotta win in under 50 seconds. This one is super cycle-based. If you miss a cycle, like with these fire bars, you'll be left waiting for some time. And the likely story there is, if you're slow, you don't get the Chivo. On my second attempt, I actually got pretty deep in, speeding past the first Sling Pod section in the Pull Star area, but right at the end, I overshot it. After a few more failed attempts, I made it to the end with just enough time to make it. But I was going to need to make a tight shot to the end. I ended up shooting at a bad time and lost again. But on my next go, I played so godlike efficiently that when I got to the last pod, I had time to wait so I could make sure I had a clear shot of that star. And we're done with that. Hopefully, we'll never ever have to come back to Sling Pod again. And surely won't have to grind for star bits over here, right? Surely, right? No, definitely not. With that, we are 1/4 of the way through the set, which I'm letting you know right now, soon things are gonna slow down in the Chivo world. But not yet, because when we get back into the observatory, we unlock the storybook. And we're right into Beach Bowl with a very special achievement. An achievement that yes, I, Pajamajohn, came up with. You see, when I play games, I like to find ways to beat stages while skipping as much as I can. And I knew of a fun way to beat this first star in Beach Bowl without collecting the supposedly required star chips. If we go over to this tree and hit a tight triple jump, we can get to this top section. A few more triple jumps later, that star is done, both fast and satisfyingly. In passing the swim test, we have another speedrun challenge to take on. We need to beat the entire stage in 1 minute, which actually can be really tough if you don't have the Pajamajohn patented strategy. Listen really carefully. Are you listening? Okay, so quickly get over to the instructor penguin. Talk to him. Hop in the water straight ahead and immediately wrap around the left side of this giant middle thing. Wait for it. Golden shell. Bring it back and you're done. What? The star is clear? You're saying I failed this on my first go? No, not true. You're crazy. Pokemon D's? It's D's. The secret undersea cavern has a secret hidden wall that we can break with a shell. And here, we can time a leap of faith jump to this 1-up for a pretty nerve-wracking Chivo. And then we just gotta go around all these crusher enemies like Tox Boxes and Thwomps to beat the stage. There's a secret star in the underground cavern stage here as well. If we take a shell and break this treasure chest, we fly over to one of the most gorgeous planets in the game. Like, look at this place. I wanna go here. So not only is this place pretty sick, but it's the first place in the game that we're going to come across another power-up. Take note, the last power-up we got was the bee suit in Honey Hive. Well, this one is the ice flower. Using this, we can wall jump up these waterfalls up to the top, where we can lead a Cataquack, yes, Cataquack from the game Super Mario Sunshine, and use him to hit this star. We have a prankster comet, and this one is a new type, a fast foe comet. Not to be confused with the Speedy comet where you need to race a clock, or a cosmic comet where you need to race a fast foe. This one, the enemies are just really fast. So you'd be surprised, but this one is actually difficult. Things move way faster, and with crushy enemies that can be really hard to deal with, I got squished a lot. Instead of just brute forcing my way to the end of the level with Mario platforming skill, I had to actually slow down a little bit. But we get out of this one for 2 Chivos, one for the stage and one for completing Beach Bowl. Now we go from the beautiful, wonderful, nice beach themed stage that I love oh so much to Ghost World. Ghostly Galaxy is a pretty unique one because it has Luigi. See him? First thing we can do is make a reference to the trailer of Super Mario Galaxy by destroying this chain chomp. I think that's a reference. Can a true patriot fact check that for me? If we're fast, we can shing Sparkle and defeat this Boo as well for a key. Okay, so in this here gravity scramble section, if you ground pound this completely inconspicuous cracked ground, we can get into the ghostly library. I don't want to know what type of old books are being held here. But hit this lever and be really fast and efficient to grab every coin in this room, and yeah, that's an achievement. Okay, back out into the main section, I got the rest of the star chips and flew over to this part of the mansion where we come across the Boo power-up. He can go through the wall, but he doesn't like light. Oh hey, Luigi! Thanks for the star, dude. For bringing Luigi back to the observatory, we get another achievement. The first thing I did was run over to my now saved brother to make sure he was okay. He wants to help us out by finding stars for us, so sure, I guess go for it, dude. And back into Ghostly. Our next star is a very spooky sprint. But we're gonna ignore the spooky sprint part and just hit this rock for a sling star to show up. This takes us over to Matter Splatter Mansion, which has 2 really hard achievements. The first of which is a speedrun where we need to make it through the entire mansion in under 1 minute. Thankfully, I've had time to try and figure out this movement, so I could go straight into attempts. What we need to do is instantly long jump down to the right, and then once again long jump around this locked door. Instead of going up the stairs, take this path to the right and backflip spin to this barely in reach platform. From here, we're going to long jump over to this door and use this key to open the doors. And well, if we were smart, we would remember that we need to hit this coin to get the matter to splatter upwards. I didn't and wasted a lot of time, so I was just too slow and I died. Not on purpose, I just suck sometimes. So I gave it another attempt, and this time I didn't waste any time and was all set. Like I said, there's another challenge in that there level, but I was rudely interrupted by the male toad who told me my chud brother sent me a letter. I should be nicer to him because he has a star for me in Good Egg. There is a little challenge here as well though. We need to get to Luigi without using the orange pipe. Let's be real, show of hands. Whoever uses this pipe? Yeah, nobody. Oh, also, this is the last non-purple coin star here in Good Egg, so extra achievement. Okay, Matter Splatter Mansion Part 2. This is definitely the harder challenge. We need to get 80 star bits by the time we make it to the star. But the reason this is hard is because of the boos who like to knock you into the void while you try to break question blocks. It is their favorite thing to do, and it's definitely annoying. Usually, the first block isn't too bad as long as you twirl the boo to get out of your way. This second box ends up being pretty tricky because if you hit it enough times fast enough, you'll get a burst of star bits that are pretty much required in order to get this challenge done. All the while, you need to worry about those pesky boos. Now, in the event I make it past the second box and into the third, this one is honestly the problem child. Since we spent so much time at block number 2, we might not be fast enough to get over and get the big burst. And same with the last block here. It all sort of combines. On a pretty early run, I got close, but fell a few star bits too short, so I had to go again, and eventually I got it. Thank God that's done with. Now we can actually race the spooky speedster here with a speedrun Chivo. I've got to beat the race in under a minute. Kinda like the Manta Ray race from earlier, I kept myself in the inner corners and stayed prepared for the next pull star in the sequence. The further away the pull star, the faster you get to move. We hit a slight snag on this floating mine here, but I got through this with 7 seconds to spare. All right, next is a classic stage. The fight against the boss of all time, Bouldergeist. This stage is easy unless you die here. Are we? All right, Bouldergeist time. We gotta ignore the rocks, then use these ghosts to spin them into Mr. Boulder. There is another pretty easy challenge to get here. We need to beat the boss without ever having a bomb boo hit either of his hands. Way to do this is essentially go in for attack as fast as possible. This way his arms can't get in the way. I think the best thing to practice is getting attached to 2 boos as fast as possible. That way you move right into the uvula phase. Now is another Pajamajohn favorite, Bubble Breeze, where yours truly came up with an achievement. But before my achievement, there's one other thing we can do. Grab 40 star bits from the transition from section 1 to section 2. Okay, now this is mine. You backflip onto this wall back here. I guess the devs forgot to make a barrier so you can just straight up long jump to the end. It's kind of the best way to do this stage. Oh great. Daredevil and Ghostly Galaxy. This level is actually a pretty special one from my childhood. I remember being a little kid and going over to sleepovers at my cousin's house. We would specifically take turns on this stage trying to do the Daredevil comet over and over again. I don't think we ever completed it though. But now as an adult, yeah, this one is nothing too crazy. Good stories with it though. And that's also every non-purple coin star in Ghostly. Our next mini galaxy is Buoy Base, which has one of the best tracks in the game. You hear it? While most one-off stages only have 1 star, this one's got 2. If we break open this pipe to get to the top section, we can use some bullet bills to get a very cool and rare green star. Surprisingly, this may be the first star we've gotten in like ever that didn't result in an achievement. Well, back to the observatory, we have another letter from Luigi who's over in Battle Rock. Now, this is like the normal star, but Luigi's trapped underneath the star platform. Save him, another green star, and yep, that's Battle Rock done for now. I saw I had another letter from Male Toad. Thinking it was from Luigi, I opened it. It was the princess and she gave me 5 1-ups and yay, more free points on my RA leaderboard, yay. Now, Bowser Jr.'s airship Armada. And we've got a secret to uncover here. If we shoot off to this tiny little bouncy green planet in the distance with Goombas and destroy the Goombas, we can get a secret 1-up. Once we go on this little moving platform and get over to the boss fight, we of course have another challenge. It's really similar to the Camella fight, which is really similar to the Dino Piranha fight, where we need to beat the boss in under 5 shell throws, and this time, damageless. To defeat Bowser Jr., you need to hit him 5 times, so there's no special trick, it's just don't miss and don't get hit, which I did get hit twice. But on my next go, I was much better prepared and almost took him out. I missed a shell, but as they say, 3rd time's a charm, and I'm a space ace. Also, we're all set with everything inside of the kitchen for now, but we still got this big and hungry Luma outside. For the low price of 600 starbits, we can go to Drip Drop Galaxy. Problem? I don't like this galaxy. So you gotta go underwater and use shells to make the eels on this planet extinct. Yes, Mario came in and destroyed the ecology of an entire planet, but it is called Galaxy for some reason. Has anyone ever mentioned that before? Probably not. I think this is an original thought. So not only are we doing that, but for an achievement, we also gotta do it in one single breath, meaning no coming up for air or bubble maxing. I got the first eel, then ran into a red shell, which is perfect because like in Mario Kart, it homes onto the enemy, which once again, the eels never did anything to us, but we're just gonna kill them anyway. Red shell, the next dude. I got a green shell again, missed, red shell, and for some reason smashing into the eel gives you a breath, so I failed. On the second attempt though, the last eel I was going for genuinely just disappeared. I swam around the planet so many times and I couldn't find the dude. This next try got hit again, and then finally, I made it out of that one. Bedroom time, and we are starting with probably the most iconic galaxy in the game, Gusty Garden, with its beautiful track and all. So you're probably wondering, what bite-sized, fun-sized, awesome challenge will John need to take on here? Well, there wasn't one on this stage. I collected the bunny and he gave a star, but no Chivo. Sad. But in star number 2, the dirty trick of Major Burrows, we gotta collect all 4 of these coins in the starting section and collect 40 star bits, which I did, but died, so I had to go again. Now for another quick one. After going to this launch star, we can make a pit stop at this donut planet and get 2 1-ups for another Chivo. And because I'm getting every achievement in this set as efficiently as possible so that this video can be pure action, there's one more thing for me to get during the Major Burrows fight. This is super similar to what we had to do with the King Caliente fight all the way back at the start of the video. We need to collect 8 coins during the battle. This one, in my opinion, is a bit more stressful only because of how we need to collect a few of these. A lot of coins are free to grab, no problem, but we also need to get Major Burrows to destroy these spiky bushes, as some of them have coins in them. Watching me from the college library PC, you're at the library right now at 3 in the morning? Are you watching me on the speakers? It gets stressful and there's always the risk of his crusty trail getting in the way, but this ended up being all right. Gusty Garden 3, we just play with gravity and get a star. No achievement here. Actually kind of a breath of fresh air to get a star with no achievement. Immediately, we were met with a daredevil comment for the fight against Major Burrows where something went wrong. I got the achievement for doing a boost start for Mario clone races right here. If you think I'm a cheater, leave a comment below. One last thing to do in Gusty. Secret star for all coins in the last stage, which gives me a star power up to kill the golden chompy. That's all non-purples in Gusty. Now we got Freeze Flame. I like Freeze Flame, it's kind of cool. The first star, the frozen peak of Baron Burr, I believe is a reference to the figure from Hamilton, Aaron Burr. No, he was not real. This was fact-checked. We got a challenge, a succulent challenge here. We need to get to the end only using 2 icy men, which if you know where to go, up to the top, this can be done with 0 problem whatsoever. Even if you get knocked off like me, a couple of hops back to the top, we're done. Freeze Flame 2 has something really similar with Fire Flowers. We gotta beat stage 2 with 2 fires or less, which can be done by doing this pretty cool movement to skip the first Fire Flower. Then wow, this is the first time I've gotten a Fire Flower. So I had this weird interaction where I got the fire, got hit, then the text box came up delayed. Anyway, fire the torches, and we gotta get to the end where we need to really carefully get these last 2 fire things. I failed, so I need to restart the entire stage to get back. Best thing to do, just spam fire while you slide in on this platform. It's easy if you do it like that. So here we got a cosmic comet for a star we haven't even gotten yet. We gotta ice skate race this cosmic Mario across ice to win against him and beat him to a pulp. All right, hot and cold collide. The best star in this galaxy, which unfortunately we got spoiled because when we get to the end here, it's kind of like what we just did, but with fire. But actually, the cosmic Mario race being done first was a blessing in disguise as a continuity error because I was prepared to beat this in under 45 seconds, which I did. Deal with it. Last thing to do here for now is go back into the Baron Burr star and go this way over to a secret area where we just gotta kill some poor snowmen to make our way over to a star. I know, really tragic. Once again, evil Mario. Well, that's all a Freeze Flame. That was a cameo from Mario. This place has a 3rd mega stage with multiple stars. It is Dusty Dune. Not a huge fan, but not a hater, just kind of in the middle on this place. I do like how many star bits you can get in the first star when you're inside of this planet here. A lot of bits. When I got back outside, I just had to make it to the top of the actually quicksand moving sand tower to get our star. DD2, I got a bunch of bits to feed this here Luma to go inside of this tower, which has 5 silver stars. And when the stars are collected, we get the 3rd of the 3 green stars for a Chivo. At this point, we unlock the green launch star, but it ain't time for that yet. It's time for more Dusty Dune Star 2. This time, not this secret green star exit. Stop! Because first, we have a letter from Luigi. This time, he's in Honey Hive. He is on this tree, and that's all non-perps in Honey Hive. Okay, now into Dusty Dune 2. We get to the blue star chip section, we gotta be a speed demon. We need to assemble this launch star in under 30 seconds. And all you really gotta do for this is have proper routing. When you land, immediately go to the right and on the outer side of the ring for this blue chip. From there, move back into the inside for the 2nd, and back out again for the 3rd inside of this crystal. On the outside, once again, is our 4th chip, and now grab the shell, stay stay on the outside, and there we go. Less than a second to spare. Rest of the levels as usual though, nothing crazy. This star 3 is actually 2 stars because guess what? There's a secret. And Chivos. So once we get to the Starship collecting tower, we got a challenge to not hit the switch to make it go back down, which kind of just means wall jumping from bottom to the top a few times to collect any chips we missed. It's not that bad. I messed up and had to restart the level because I wanted the secret star. Immediately after that Starship section, if we are quick, we can stomp on this stump and play some music. And our reward is being able to go over here to make bullet bills free a star from its confines. Cool. Now the normal exit, not that cool, not that interesting. We just need to kill a Pokey, then go through this tower that's being filled with sand. It is scary. That's all we could do in Dusty Dune now, so I checked out Honey Climb, where we get to be an awesome bee again. There's an achievement here for getting 250 star bits in one go, but I didn't get that yet and instead just got the star. At this point, I was really tired because I was 6 hours into the Wii launch event. I decided that at this point, it was probably best to end stream because, I mean, we had 60 stars and 80 achievements, so that was a really nice round number to end it off on. So I just took the rest of the night to rest, then I came back the next day to continue on the set. Up and far more rested and chipper, I went to give that Honey Climb challenge another go. I don't want to like waste this story for too early in the stream, but I actually have to tell what happened to me this morning. You know how last night I streamed for 6 hours? I fell asleep at like 1 in the morning and I had to get up at 6:45. I woke up, I went and made my coffee and didn't put a mug. I didn't put a mug, I just made the coffee on the counter. I went through the level multiple times, confused and dazed and unsure of where the star bits I was missing were. Turns out you can ground pound the bugs to get more. And that was all I needed to do. Now, Bowser's Dark Matter planet, where I gotta find and collect all 4 of the 1-up mushrooms. They are here, 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 and here. Now for the Bowser fight, where we gotta do it damageless. This Bowser fight is pretty similar to the first, except now Bowser is more twirly. He likes to do his twirl lunge and he likes to fire breath, but other than that, this was basically just fight 1, just a touch harder though. First try. And we actually got a mega combo with achievements here because not only did we get another grand star, but the observatory now has full power. Well, I think technically. We still haven't unlocked one of the domes yet. Oh, the beacon is a really satisfying dark blue. I want to put it in my mouth. Before we go further into the engine room, we have a speedrun prankster comet to take on, and our personal goals are to beat it in under 3 minutes. This, was not very hard to be honest, struggling to find things to say about it. Well, I guess like the only difference is that there are no more of those tornadoes towards the end here. We did this star fastly, and we're also done with the non-perps here as well. We got another Hungry Luma. This time is Big Mouth Galaxy. In Big Mouth, we gotta find a golden shell to open a treasure chest, but we got an easy challenge as well. If instead of getting the star chips or whatever goes on underwater, I actually don't really know because I haven't done this stage in the legit way in forever. We can just wall jump here and then get the star back at the start. That wall jump was basically the Chivo. Now, the engine room up towards the top of the observatory. And first, Gold Leaf Galaxy, which is Honey Hive, but for right-handed people. Did you know? This was a reference to the fact that they mirrored Twilight Princess when it got ported to the Wii because Link is a lefty. And so they just mirrored the game so that people playing with the Wii remote were just like Link. Oh, by the way, if we go down here, we can collect a lot of coins from this big coin to get an achievement. We ain't done yet with miscellaneous collectible achievements. Okay, see this area where we just landed? Picture this. I'm up here with a bee suit, but this time it doesn't get lost. So I fly over to this tree to get a really hard to grab 1-up. Oh, that was awesome. Okay, now I can get to the end of this stage and play normally. I caught a bunny. In the next level, if we hit this bell and become musicians, we get a secret star. And the main star in this path was cool because we go on flowers. The next mainline star, when it rains it pours, is one of my favorites in the game because it's kind of like fun. I don't want to explain myself. I was told once that nobody cares about my opinions. One time when somebody told me that they didn't care about my opinions and I was stupid, I got really sad. But you don't really care about that, do you? So, we're gonna need to get to the end of the level by doing a lot of platforming and playing as B Mario, who's my favorite. I love him. And then once again, we get to the boss. We got 2 potential achievements. 1, beat the boss damageless without lifting up the platforms, and 2, beating it without losing the B transformation. Now, both are doable at once if you are really good, but going in for the 3rd hit, I got hit by water, which made me lose the B transformation, so instead, I needed to time a triple jump really well in order to get that last hit in. And for it, we got a prankster comet in the way of us trying that challenge again, so I had to race Cosmic Mario to the top. No problem. Hey, that's all of Gold Leaf for now. Okay, boss time again. This time, on that final hit, I made sure to hide behind a wall until the mole man wasn't shooting, then came back out for a ground pound to his skull. Oh no, I don't like Sea Slide. It's very repetitive and the stage itself is a goofy ass ring floating in space. But we gotta play it. Why do we have to play it? First star, we just gotta follow Guppy around. We need to just go through the rings he leaves. It's quite relaxing actually. Then guess what? For the second star, we need to take the same exact route pretty much, and this time though, we're racing penguins. And I just went forward as fast as I could and got Achievo for beating the race in under 1:15. Now we got a cosmic comet where we gotta like, just do that again, except this time we end around a lighthouse. Well, one more star here for now, and it's just go around this huge level for a bit until you find a hungry Luma, feed him, then do this level again, but this time there are more music notes. And back in again, and we gotta run around for like 7 minutes till we find the 5 silver stars. At least we're done here though. We went from that absolute plague of a stage to an absolute awesome happy stage that makes up for every wrong that Sea Slide made. Toy time. We, yes we, as in all of us, love toy time. My plan is to try and beat the first stage, also known as the Heavy Metal Mecha Bowser, without ever collecting a spring mushroom. That's fine, I don't need one, especially because we haven't used one in this entire game yet, so I'm not gonna start now. Hey, fun fact, if you go this way with the moving ground conveyor things and go in first person mode at this crack, there's a toy train. Isn't that literally just so cool? Okay, onwards and upwards. So we get to the toy robot, and to be honest, the only place where you'd even want to spring is nowhere, because you can just ground pound the top here without it. We did it, Reddit, we beat the level. Stage 2 of Toy Time has a cute challenge. As we leave the first starting section here, if we grab all of the heart-shaped star bits, we get an achievement. This is a reference to how you will heart the video by giving a like, and also that if you comment, it might get hearted by me if I like it myself. This is what we call a call to action in the showbiz. You taste Italian? Ew. Don't tell me this is the gastro bypass surgery level. I fed this Luma. It turned into a planet, if you can call it that, with Achievo for us. It's another flip panel challenge. Just don't turn any back to blue after they're yellow. Don't make me talk about it any longer than I have to. Instead of feeding this Luma, we can collect star chips and go this way. When we go this way, we go to the best part of the game. I feel like I've said that 5 times now. We get to run around Mario on his body and collect 5 silver stars for a star. But you may be thinking, it's been like a couple minutes since we have a prankster comet. When are we gonna get another one? Well, good thing a fast faux comet showed up. Just gotta do this star again. Okay, bouncing down Cake Lane here. I decided to try out this thing they call the spring suit. Kind of a lame achievement to be achievement number 100. It's a little cringe. Oh, now that we've collected it, we might as well use it to bounce up this wall and over this white chocolate wall. Guys, if you ever get stuck in this level, you need to spin out these candles on the cake to proceed. During our battle with the mole gunner dude, we must become a spring, then never lose it. We gotta bounce to the top, ground pound, then time our last jump properly to do the last hit without being shocked. Didn't work on my first go, but second time around, we were all good. And we were done with toy time for now. So, let's see what we got left. Really? Bonefin? Okay, so remember that eel level where we massacred an entire species of eel? Okay, so imagine that exact level, but this time it's a giant fish that is bones. Once again though, we need to do this in one breath, and it's going to prove to be awfully hard. That's because not only does he move pretty quick, but he takes 5 hits. So I drowned many times. The idea is that we need to get a few easy hits in, and then get red shells to just make the process 10 times easier anytime we can find one. Even then, I was still dying in some way, shape, or form for 20 minutes straight, which was dozens of attempts. I was getting better, worse, better again, until I kinda locked in and got the 5 hits in super quick. I got a ton of red shells, and with that, I shaved off a lot of time I would have taken to line up green shell shots. All right, bye Bonefin level, we won't miss you at all. This world's boss stage is kinda odd. It's just, what if King Caliente was back, and this time you were on a different type of platform? That's the boss. But speaking of platform, that's the star of this achievement we're gonna grab. We need to only stay on this little hexagon and not press any of the others in. It's pretty easy to be honest, just gotta time your spin so that you can fall back. Okay, done. And for grabbing our next awesome grand star, another one. Our hungry Luma for this one takes us into Sand Spiral Galaxy, which is one of the most goated levels. You gotta choose between Boo and B. I chose B because getting the star as the B gets you Achievo. Too bad it's such a short one though. Now that we are done with that, we've actually unlocked something special. Gateway Galaxy. Yes, where we started our entire journey. This time though, there's something kind of awesome. The red star power-up that makes you fly. Now we just need to figure out how to fly as Mario and collect 100 purple coins around the gateway. And when we do collect all 100, we are rewarded with the very extra rare and exclusive red star. Okay, now there's a hungry Luma here as well. This time we go into Boo's Boneyard Galaxy, where we need to once again race the spooky speedster in under 45 seconds. The way that we do this is actually pretty easy. Since we are also a Boo this time, we just need to phase through a couple of walls so we can activate coins that turn on these fans. The fans propel us forward really fast. If we hit them, we can finish this up with time to spare. It is time to check out the last dome of the game, the garden. And I like this place. It's very relaxing. It reminds me of the Windows default background from Windows XP, except more beautiful. Our first stop here is Deep Dark Galaxy, which is truly deep, dark, and scary, and has a cannon which will let us shoot ourselves to a mini gateway galaxy. Here, I need to collect every coin available. I did this by stomping all the Goombas, then twisting the screw to, I guess, make the galaxy deflate, which reveals a whole ton of coins. More than enough time to grab them, though. From there, we need to shoot to this place with all of the Octoomba guys, also known as Octo guys. Took a fire to light these up here and went underwater to take on Camella Part 2. This Camella fight has an achievement similar to the Bowser Jr. fight, which has an achievement similar to the Camella fight, which has an achievement similar to Dino Piranha, where we needed to beat them in 4 spins. This time, it's 2 shells again, and much like the first Camella fight, we just gotta run into her in phases 2 and 4. Not anything crazy at all. Deep Dark 2, we had to use Flood's cousin to make it to this tiny planet, and then go to this planet with a watermelon in the center. As you might expect, hitting these tennis balls into the watermelon helps the watermelon grow until it gives us a star. Yes, that makes a lot of sense. Tennis balls grow a watermelon. Then for Deep Dark 3, there's a secret star I got by using a shell to explode these mines, uncovering a launch star to a cube room where I needed to kill a Boo. Instead of being able to do the normal star here, I needed to do a damageless Camella fight, because there was a Daredevil comet. This wasn't too bad if it weren't for the fact that magma ball hit me from when I was on top of this railing. I thought I was safe up here. Guess I was wrong. Now time for actual Deep Dark 3, where Guppy just gives us more rings to swim through. That's it. Waste of time. Next, please. Oh, that's all of the non-P Deep Darks. The next galaxy to uncover is Dreadnought. I'm kind of in the middle of Dreadnought. It's kind of a fun galaxy, but I feel like it reuses the themes from a ton of other galaxies in the game, making it kind of forgettable. This first star is a Battle Rock type stage, and this next one, well, first we need to press all these flip switches without getting hit, but yeah, this is just the Battle Rock stage where we need to go on a moving elevator again. It's seriously just a harder Battle Rock, and they should have just picked one over the other. Anyway, we got a speedrun stage for the Top Man Tribe redo, and this one can be really hard if you play the start just a little inefficiently, and also get hit by electricity currents at this big long jump part, or really fumble the last hit on Top Man. This is actually the worst showing of all time. On the next go, I reset after this red Top Man mogged me, then I actually had a decent run that beat the time by 27 seconds. It really should have just been that easy the first time, but thankfully that's all the non. Now I could move on to another Pajamajohn favorite, Molten Galaxy. I like lava levels, such as LLL in Mario 64. One fun part about this place is that there are 3 whole fun Chivos to grab, but first was forgetting most of the star bits inside of the volcano, which I failed, but we'll get more chances. And we'll get more chances because I need to feed this hungry Luma, meaning we'll do this stage multiple times. Hungry Luma becomes a, would you guess it, lava planet. Now, isn't that a surprise based on the galaxy theme? Here we just gotta get 5 silver stars, then on my run back of the volcano, I actually managed to collect the 30 bits needed. Then, once we get to the final lava spire, we need to collect 2 whole 1-ups on our way to the end. First is here, second is here. I kinda got this one accidentally. Oh my god, that was an achievement. That's amazing. Molten 2 is through the meteor storm, and we gotta use a unique interaction here. Fire dudes set the torches on fire. Okay, rolling ball time, and into Molten Daredevil Comet after that. This is just legit the entire lava spire stage, but we can't get hit. This was another childhood nightmare stage, but now I really appreciate the challenge this one has to offer. I mean, lava everywhere, some pretty tough sections with the fire cinder guys, it's got it all. And ba-boom, this one is done. In the last stage here, we needed to make our way to a fight with Fiery Dino Piranha. So, this one has an achievement similar to the Camella fight part 2, which No, actually this time it's just damageless. Fiery Dino Piranha is that fight from Good Egg, except if you touch him when he's on fire, you go burn. You just gotta do it without going burn. The first couple hits are no problem. Fire turns off for long enough that you have time to set up a hit. But this last phase, he spits a ton of fireballs and his fire tail leaves a trail. It's scary, but I really took my time and waited for just the right chance to get that last hit in. Oh, and that's also last galaxy in this here dome is Matter Splatter Galaxy, which is like Matter Splatter Mansion and Ghostly, but it's the entire gimmick. It's a good gimmick though, so I'm glad they went for it again. The only thing to keep in mind for this one is that once you get to the side scroller section, you want to keep your spring power up to the pipe. We just need to skip the Sling Star and make a big jump to this pipe instead. The reason for that is an achievement requires us to get both 1-ups in this room, and the spring suit is required. Now just grab this star, and for the time being, we're done with the garden. I know, no boss level. Sad, right? Well, that being said, we still have this final Hungry Luma star. Thankfully, I had the 1,600 star bits I needed to get into the Snowcap Galaxy, which is the cutest of the Hungry Luma galaxies. This is a bunny finding simulator, where I started by hitting a bunch of hidden switches to open up these holes, then got 1, 2, 3 bunnies, and that's it. That was the final Hungry Luma star. And that's honestly, for the most part, everything I can do in the game right now, except for some special stages I'm gonna leave for the end of this playthrough. So with 100 stars and 120 achievements, wow, really round numbers again. It is time to finally talk to Rosalina and infiltrate the final Bowser level, Bowser's Galaxy Reactor, for the star, the fate of the universe. While going through this, we need to get all 7 of the 1-ups throughout the stage without dying. The first is on this wall section, then on this small platform to the magma planet. This leads to the ice planet, which has not 1, but 2 1-ups. Sand planet has nothing, and the appearing platforms planet has 1 as well. Bullet Bill Castle area has 1, then the final one can be grabbed while making my way towards Bowser. This Bowser level has one really tough achievement that we're going to need to get eventually. What we're gonna have to do is beat him in under 2 minutes and 15 seconds damageless, so let's give this a go. In phase 1 of the fight, Bowser turns into a boulder, and we gotta hit him in the face as he turns into a spinny turtle. This happens twice. Then I wanted to hide behind the bulbous plants to save me from fire, but that didn't protect me and I got hit, so achievement canceled. Instead, I hit him with the plant dudes twice, then moved on to the final phase of the fight, which is much more similar to a normal Bowser battle. 2 hits and Bowser falls into lava, leaving us to grab the final Grand Star. With that, we save Princess Peach, and Bowser somehow survived falling into the sun. Oh nah, the star collapsed and formed a black hole! But when we think the galaxy will be destroyed, our Luma sacrificed itself to create the Big Bang, and giant Rosalina? What just happened? I'm a little confused. Well, Mario wakes up back in the Mushroom Kingdom and the world has been saved. But just when we think things are done, we get a message. The purple comet has appeared. Once we beat the game, the post-game starts. Each level that we play through basically gets a purple coin star that we need to beat, which should bring us to 120 stars, and at that point, we're going to have to beat Bowser again. The first purple comet that showed up is way back in Good Egg Galaxy. And by the way, yes, most of the purple coin stars have an achievement linked to it. This one is for beating the stage in under 1 minute and 30 seconds. Like in the Gateway Galaxy purple coin star we just did, we're required to get 100 purple coins to unlock a new star. And for this one in Good Egg, if we want to complete it in under 1 minute 30, we just need to take every single launch star in the order they show up in, and as long as we don't get hit or go too slow anywhere, we can collect all 100 coins really quickly. Okay, I kind of did this with 0.1 second to spare, so maybe it's not that easy. And also, since that was our first purple comet, we get an extra achievement as well. And this post game is pretty much as follows. Get a purple coin star, check the map near Rosalina, go to another purple coin star. Next one is in Space Junk, which is another speedrunning challenge. We need to get 100 coins in my favorite part of the stage, Welcome Return. There are 10 circles of 10 coins, and we gotta do it all in under 1 minute. I just kind of long jumped from one circle to the next, making sure to be pretty intentional with my routing, and then we were good on try number 1 with 6 seconds to spare. I had another star in the terrace, which was over in Hive. This one is far more exploration based than the last 2 we just did, which is a welcome change. It's really rare that in the Galaxy games that you get to slow down and really explore a level. This game is far less sandbox focused than the 3D games before it, and it's something that a lot of people do miss from that era. When I was playing this last time, I forgot these coins. Mario was running on the edge. So I ran around for 8 or so minutes until I found all 100 coins, and am now at 100% done with Honey Hive and the terrace as a whole. Back in the fountain, Battle Rock has a star. This kind of takes the opposite approach as Honey Hive. It's as linear as you could possibly get. I mean, it's an auto-scroller basically. Then, unfortunately, I had no stars showing up, so I talked to this Luma that has been here the entire game that we haven't spoken to. He moves comets around, and by feeding him 20 bits, he gives us new comets to explore and gives us a Chivo for doing so. Kitchen Time and Ghostly Galaxy's got something for us. This is a pretty unique one. We gotta pull star ourselves to get a ton of purple coins. I find going on the outskirts first, then flailing around the middle works pretty well. At this point, I needed to go get a star, so I went over to Luma, talked to him, unlocked another star, and back to the kitchen, and this time Beach Bowl. This is another exploratory star, where we need to go all around the sea level area, then go underwater and start to make our way up to the peak of the little mountain at the top of the spring. Very fun and cool. Beach Bowl is one of my favorite galaxies. Now, Dusty Dune, where we need to speedrun. Worst part is having to use the tornadoes. Best part, I can't really think of one. In my opinion, it's just mid. I was missing a coin and had to search for it. It was my fault though. All right, Gusty Garden, and this one's a little special. We need to grab the star and 125 purple coins for a Chivo instead of the normal 100. I really had to keep steady, especially on parts like this with the really thin platforms. On my first go, I got 100 coins with 36 seconds to get 25 more coins. I definitely could have done it. There was a coin right here and I was in front of the star with 3 seconds to spare. It could have been done. But on my next go, I was way more efficient with my coin collecting that I decided to go for bonuses. And I actually got 133 coins. Then lost the star, but on my third attempt, I got 142 to flex. Now purple coin and freeze flame, another explorative level. I don't want to go too into detail here because this video is already hella long and we aren't even done yet. So let me catch my breath for a bit, okay? Are you cool with that? Are you fine with that? You better be. And I mean, there's no achievement for this one anyway. Next, I went into Deep Dark, which is more exploring inside of the underground ship section. A lot of underwater swimming, which I'm not a fan of, as well as a lot of really well hidden coins, like the last two that are under this perch. Now is Melty Molten, my goat, where we gotta run all around the volcano section for the coins. We are finally getting into a stage that does have an achievement. A strange one at that. In Dreadnought, we need to try and beat this one with 0 purple coins. It's a lot like the one in Battle Rock, where we are on an auto-scroller platform, but yeah, we gotta miss all the coins. And this is a hard one, because a lot of the coins are perfectly centered to the platform, so we need to be in some weird spots. When you're upside down, it's super hard to control Mario as well. Things were okay until this platform with 6 perfectly placed coins. I tried to jump over the electricity, but that didn't work. Failed again at the same spot on my next go, then I just collected a random one. Then on my next try, I discovered a damage boost technique to get over that trouble section. But wait, whatever you do, don't take the normal launch star. That will lead you to the last purple coin. Instead, take this tiny hidden sling star that will bring you to the end, where a bot will tell us that we must have gotten 0 coins on purpose. This is true. Okay, I did it again to actually get the star, and now the absolute worst star in the game, Sea Slide 100 purple coins. Instead of explaining to you how hard this star is, I'm gonna put speed up footage of the entire process of me getting this star. If you're wondering if I got lost, yes. If you're wondering if I had fun, no. It took me almost exactly 10 minutes. All right, a far better one in Gold Leaf. This one is super linear, but kind of satisfying to do. We need to beat this star in 2 minutes and 30 seconds or less, which you might think sounds scary, but if you know where to go, you can't really mess this one up all too bad. One of the more fun over difficulty challenges in my opinion. But now, for what you have all been waiting for. Toy Time Galaxy Luigi's Purple Coins, what most people consider to be the hardest level in the game. Here we have 2 achievements. The first for beating the stage in under 2 minutes, and the second for getting all 150 coins on this thing. Of course, I'm gonna go for the easier of the 2 first, the speedrun one. So the best way to get this done here is to route out your movement carefully. I knew that there were 2 sections here where we can get tons of coins with huge long jumps over pits. So beelining for that, then collecting some coins on the hand, and back again on the long jumps, I was already at 75 of the 100 coins, with around 1 minute and 15 seconds until I needed to grab the star. From there, I kind of just collected what I needed to and cleared the stage with 1:39 on the clock. Now for the 150 coin challenge. For this, platform economy is what you really need to look out for. I made sure to only hit panels that were required of me so that later on I had more to work with if I had somehow missed a coin or needed to get back to the start. Timing is pretty lenient, so try to remember the fact that you do have time and to take it slow. Jump spin to a ton of coins, leave yourself platforms to hit, and take the level section by section. It might take a few tries, but you'll be super satisfied when all is said and done. I thought that this was the final purple coin star to end all purple coin stars, but I was missing a star in the kitchen, so I went to the Luma here to spawn in another perp, and wait, nothing came up. Let's, yeah, let's just ignore that for now, I guess. Next place to hit are the special green star challenge things up here in the sky. First of which is Bubble Blast, where we need to get 5 silver stars from a few different sections, then sling over to a final challenge where we're gonna need to bubble breeze through while also collecting all 3 1-ups in the area. The way to do that is pretty easy. First one needs a bullet bell to break some glass, second is genuinely unmissable, and same with the third. And we're done here. Next to the challenges is Rolling Gizmo with a couple of Chivos. One is for finding the Zelda Rupee Easter egg behind the wall. Now is actually a real challenge. We need to beat this stage while also collecting at least 100 coins. Off the start, each one of these blocks gives one, then we gotta hop around this bowl funnel to get all of them in here. On the platform with the Goombas, there are a whole bunch, including this super tight balancing act. It's not bad at all until we make it to the Mega Gear with the Bob-ombs. These guys, they're menaces. They explode all over you and hit you into holes, including this insane hole in one perfect fall that I'm sure hasn't ever happened to anyone else ever. Hello? The way to deal with these guys is to have them fall down a hole themselves, since that gives you a bit more time to collect coins closer to the spawners. After that though, it's smooth sailing to the end. Star and Chivo. Our final challenge is another manta ray race. This time a little more curvy and loopy. There's a speedrun Chivo, but I wasn't feeling it at the time, so I kinda just did the normal level and then left. We can come back later for the challenge. That's all the trial galaxies though. Okay, so I kinda messed up, and what I thought was the final purple coin level was actually the main star and buoy base. At least we get to hear the music again. Kind of ruined the pacing of this video to just randomly come here, but sure, okay, I guess. Okay, so with 120 stars and 135 achievements, the next task to do is beat that Bowser stage again for 100% completion. So, cue epic Mario getting to the Bowser fight again. I want to go and try to get that damageless speedrunner achievement with Bowser, and it was pretty freaking epic. And credits roll again, with Rosalina's special cutscene. I mean, that's it, right? We've 100% of the game, then beaten Bowser again, and we've gotten the true ending. So, we're done, correct? I mean, that's it. That's gotta be all of it, right? He's right behind me, isn't he? Oh yeah. So yeah, after we get 120 stars and save the world, we unlock Luigi, which is just the entire game again. And of course, for the true ending, we need to 100% it with him as well. Now, let's do some math together. 120 stars with Mario, 136 achievements. That is over 1 achievement per star that we've had already. Now, 120 stars with Luigi, only 24 achievements left. That's 1 achievement every 5 or so stars, which doesn't sound so bad until you consider that 8 of them are just basically for beating the entire game. All right, let's get this show on the road. Luigi time. This Luigi playthrough is a blessing in disguise though. I missed a few achievements on my first time through, including the 2 missables in the Gateway Galaxy tutorial stage. What's nice about Luigi though is that the run starts immediately. Like, we don't need to wait for that story cutscene at the start. We're just in space already. I'd watched a speedrunner do the bunny catching and tried to copy a strat. Wait, low-key, please. That's it, okay. Collect some star bits, then immediately drop into the crater on the left side, hit bunny with star bit, then I found this patch to get that bunny, and that put me right next to the pipe I need to go down. So this achievement was actually pretty easy. Then I simply didn't mess up on the flip panels, and we are done with every single missable in this set. Now we have got a long while in gameplay before I have another achievement to get. I played through all of Terrace and got one for beating Mega Leg. I mean, see what I mean? I would consider this to be basically the Super Mario Galaxy achievement drought, the Luigi run. I mean, at this point we've seen it all and I've gone in pretty good depth thus far. So I think from now until the end of time, I'm only going to highlight the achievements that I had to grab because otherwise this video would never get out in a timely manner. It's already insanely long. I've said that already though. I love repeating what I say. When I got to Rolling Green Galaxy, it had been a few days since the achievement didn't trigger. So I tried to beat the star in under 40 seconds with the same strat, and this time it completely worked fine, so we're good. It wasn't all too long until my next one though, because I remembered I was missing something in Hive. There's this secret area with a ton of boulders. If we grab every star bit from every boulder without using the star power-up, we get another achievement. And again, it wasn't that long of a wait because I just needed to beat Bowser in the fountain. Slingpod had one more for me where I just needed to get all 3 of the 1-ups without dying. Boom, boom, bam. Okay, wow. Another really quick one in Beach Bowl. He has somehow never got all of these music notes towards the top here. Maybe I'm bad at the game after all. All right, back to the drought. Yeah, 92 more stars with only 15 more Chivos. Next thing is for beating BJR in the kitchen. When we get into the bedroom and into Freeze Flame, there's actually a really well hidden music note path behind this section here, where we can grab a 1-up. Then for beating Bowser again here, we get 2 Chivos. They were for Grand Star and full power of the observatory as Luigi. The only place in the engine? Wait a sec. The only place in the engine with a special achievement was Toy Time Galaxy. We need to bounce down Cake Lane specifically as Luigi with no spring. This is the only Luigi exclusive challenge Chivo in the game. And I wish there were more. Maybe one day there can be a Luigi subset. I don't know. This took me so long to do my first time around, but I figured out how to get past this. What? You're joking. I somehow managed to get this insanely hard triple jump on my first try, and from there, the rest of the star is really easy to do as Luigi. Just get good triple jump wall kicks to the top of the boss, hit him 3 times, and you're a happy camper. Now I just beat King Caliente again, and back into the garden. This place has exactly 1 achievement that we missed. I needed to beat the gunner without spinning, and with Luigi triple jump, it's a baby mode. And when we get through the rest of the stars we got here, time to go into the final boss level, defeat Bowser for the 3rd time, and we'll of course watch the final cutscene for the 3rd time because for some reason we can't skip it and are forced to watch it over and over again. And here's a secret. We're gonna get to watch it again. Well, purple coins are back and those are all fine and good, so who cares about that really? Eventually, I had to take on the trials, and remember how we messed that one up in Loop-de-Swoop? I did die a few times, including trying to cheese a jump through the loop, which did not work, but with fast, tight movement, I barely made it through with 59.88 on the clock. Now all I needed to do was beat the game with 120 stars again as Luigi, and the final star to put me over that 120 threshold was Dreadnought's 100s. And after watching that long ass cutscene again, we unlock a special thing. A very special thing. The Grand Finale Galaxy. By the way, that Luigi run was about 8 hours. With speed up. Don't tell the Nintendo ninjas. They're already onto me. But although Grand Star Finale Galaxy is now open, we can't go there quite yet. There are still a couple of achievements I need to clear up around the observatory. There is one mega huge one that we need to do, which will be for getting 9,999 star bits, but I'm going to break that up by getting some quick smaller ones in between. So I need to figure out the best way to farm star bits efficiently. I knew from personal experience that you can max out on star bits and Sling Pod really quickly. So I went in there to try and collect bits. At first, I tried farming toward the end part here at the second check. While I was getting decent results, it felt kind of slow. It was taking me over 7 minutes to reach 999 star bits. I know that sounds fast, but it really is tedious, and when you gotta do this multiple times, it kinda sucks. So after doing that for a bit, I completed the star with almost 999 star bits, and then went right in again, and tried farming closer to the start. This for sure was faster, well, until I accidentally went too far and had to go back up to the slow strat. Still though, I was able to shave off around 30 seconds to get 999 star bits in around 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Then on the next go, I did this better and did it even faster. But to break up the monotony, I did a little fun secret trick. Did you know that if you use the flying power to fly into Sweet Sweet Galaxy Portal, you can go to it? Yeah, I know, crazy. And back to the grind a few more times. Speed up, speed up, speed up. And now, for another fun Chivo. I need to use a single flying power to get all 5 of the observatory 1-ups in one go. Welcome to Pajamajohn Tips. We are giving 200 tips in Super Mario Galaxy in the month of May. Now we're gonna take that first mushroom and take a flight off to the left side here, then go underneath the bedroom to grab this 1-up mushroom. Now, make a wrap around so you can nice and softly grab this mushroom underneath the kitchen, then fly out and straight up. Right underneath the station is the 4th mushroom. Last one, right on top of the building. And there it is. We did it. An achievement for the books. So a few more times of the grind here in Sling Pod, and we have 9,999 star bits. I, of course, went to observe a watermelon. Yes, this was my prize. The coconuts are now watermelons. 2 more achievements left in the entire game at this point, and I saved a really special one for the second to last. One of our challenges isn't really much of a challenge. We need to read through the Rosalina storybook, which genuinely is a really amazing heartfelt story about basically the lore of this game. A really unique way to tell the story, and honestly, kudos to Nintendo for even adding it in this, because I feel like these days they simply wouldn't. So, together with my chat, we read the whole thing in order to prepare ourselves for the final star. And now we are prepared for the final challenge, which is the Grand Finale Galaxy. This is our reward for 100%ing the game as Mario and Luigi. A fun little homage to the Star Festival, except this time we're met with a ton of familiar faces we saw along the way. It's a really sweet moment and a nice little reward for all of our hard work. Grabbing all 100 purple coins, we can talk to a toad to get a special letter on our Wii message board. And then grab the final star in the entire game, which also wraps up our achievement hunting journey. So, Super Mario Galaxy has been mastered in 22 hours and 28 minutes. This one was a long time coming, and the set was amazing. Like I said, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, because at 9,000 likes, we're gonna do the coin collector challenge. Or if you're looking for more of me, check out another video on this channel. Or go watch some stream highlights on my second channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next journey. Pajamajohn 2026 Supremacy. Bye now. We did it! Let's celebrate! The video's done!